dog was created for a specific purpose. The pit bull was created to be the best fighting dog ever created.
Old-time pit bull breeders around the turn of the century, if a pit bull showed man aggressive, they curled the dog. They killed the dog off because they didn't want that in their line.
This is not a dog that was created to be aggressive towards people. And so, the love that it has for people is unparalleled.
There's a lot of hard work goes into making one of these guys bad.
If you have an owner that wants to use the dog as a weapon, the dog itself can be used as a weapon.
I don't apologize for having a politically incorrect dog. You know, it's a dog. It's going to act like a dog. It's not going to be a monster if you don't allow it to be a monster.
Bad people make bad dogs regardless of breed. And these guys have got a bad rap because a lot of bad people like them.
People come to dog shows to collect points that are awarded in titles on their dogs, and they want to prove that their dog has got what it takes to be All-American.
One more and he gets his Spartan dog title, something you get when you champion out in all 4 events.
Well, sadly enough, the American Pit Bull Terrier is being eliminated from a lot of different countries, and it's a crying shame. That was the first dog that ever lived in our White House, and we're going to keep it alive. Jefferson had him. Jefferson had 2 of them. He was the first one to live in the White House. They get a bad rap on TV. It's terrible, because with the number of dogs that we have out here registered, there should be hits all the time, according to the news, and there's not.
There was a mauling in Denver where a pit bull attacked a child and it died. After several years of litigation, Denver won the right to ban pit bulls. In San Francisco just recently, a baby was mauled, and within a few weeks, the local legislator came up with legislation to ban pit bulls. And now California is trying to figure out what to do with this pit bull problem.
It's not the dog's fault. It's the person who bred the dog to be that way. But they are dangerous in that regard.
A pit bull jaw does have approximately 3,000 pounds per square inch of power, whereas the strongest other breed, like a Rottweiler, is about 1,000 pounds per square inch.
A dog is what he is. They can't pretend to be something that they're not. If the food is good, they eat it. If it's not, they stay away from it. If they're interested in something, they go forward. If they're afraid, they go away. We look at the way nature has designed them, and we respect that. Well, we must respect what nature has done with the bully breeds also. Our duty is, if we're going to have them, to understand the way their mind works. Nature has wired the dog to live a life that's based on hierarchy, not on a life that's based on equality. The mentality of wolves is where it comes from, because dogs are really wolves in dogs' clothing. They have a pack mentality. This is what has kept them alive for this period of time. Dogs that come to me are generally what we consider to be the bully breeds or the man stoppers. Man stoppers meaning German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, Rottweilers. These are the dogs that are generally used for personal protection dogs, and that's why we call them man stoppers. And then we have the bully breeds, which can be the American Bulldog, the Pit Bull, the American Staffordshire, and so forth. We call these the bully breeds for a reason, because generally they are bullies of other dogs. Every dog was created for a specific purpose. The pit bull, because it was not created to be a pack animal or a man stopper, it was not made to be aggressive towards humans. Pit bulls were created to be aggressive towards other animals. So then the question comes, then why are we having so many pit bull attacks? Why are pit bulls attacking people? Well, this is a dog that you have to make aggressive towards people. Because humans are used to personal protection dogs, they take a dog that is so beautiful, so menacing looking, they clip the ears to make it look more so. And they beef him up to make him look more dramatic. And then they teach him to be aggressive towards people. With the pit bulls, there was a time that you can jump into a backyard, and I don't care what age the pit bull was, you can just pick him up and take him. That's how docile he was towards humans. But now, the new age, changing the reason that this dog was created, this is why we're having a big problem in the world with dog biting. It's the people.
This breed is probably no more a victim of the violence that it goes on with pit bulls than the pit bulls themselves. It's actually part of some gangs' initiation rites to just beat up a pit bull. Pit bulls have a unique problem in the way that they've been bred in the last 400 years. Human beings started using animals to fight each other.
Dogfighting, it grew out of contests that were held in Old England between dogs and other animals. And when those were outlawed in 1835, fights between dogs, as opposed to between dogs and a bear, became more popular. It's not normal that any dog fight its own kind to the death. That's abnormal in an evolutionary sense, and it's anti-survival as far as the species is concerned. Pit bulls have been bastardized in the sense that they've taken that survival skill of the dog to show submission and thrown it out the window. I mean, if a pit bull shows a sign of submission, the other dog's going to kill it. And I think that leads the dog to fight to the point that it's beyond exhaustion, to accept injuries that other dogs would never submit to. So to breed that out of the dog is totally against nature. In the old days, we rarely heard about one of these dogs of this breed biting a person. And that was because the last thing you want when you've got two dogs in an arena is one of the dogs going after a handler or the referee, who are also in the same arena. These guys get right down up close with dogs where they can actually talk to them while they're involved in the fight.
Yeah, make him cry, boy. Make him cry. Make him cry, Papa. Make him cry, boy. Yeah.
So a dog that would, possibly turn and bite your face was not going to be tolerated. But you can't have it both ways forever. In the cases where we've had terrible maulings or dog bite-related fatalities, the highest percentage tends to be pit bulls or pit bull type dogs that have some fighting background. It's not the dog's fault. It's the person who bred the dog to be that way and conditioning it to be that way. I really worry about that kind of person being in society because there are clear connections between animal cruelty and abuse of people. We've tried to categorize dog fighters at the various levels. At the lowest end, but at the most prevalent end, is what we refer to as street level. Gang affiliated. There's a lot of that going on. Unfortunately, at these levels also, we tend to see dogs that are considered highly disposable. They can be had cheaply. And when you walk into an animal shelter these days and you see 50-60% being pit bulls, many with scars, open wounds, those are the dogs that are coming from that environment. But at the very top end of that would be professional fighters who have yards of dogs, frequently anywhere from half a dozen to more than 60 dogs on a yard.